Lord Raz burst onto the scene in Ninjago, Dragons Rising, Season 1 as a formidable new antagonist. He hails from a mysterious realm called the Wildness, and notably, he's an anthropomorphic tiger, a humanoid warrior with feline features. Even longtime fans were intrigued by this fresh villain, as Raz was immediately established as a ruthless and cunning commander. Before the cataclysmic event known as the Merge, Raz left his home realm and arrived in the Kingdom of Imperium, where he helped Empress Beatrix seize power by assassinating her father. This bloody rise to influence earned Raz the title of leader of Imperium's dragon hunting force, the Claws of Imperium, marking him as a key enforcer in Imperium's tyrannical regime. In Season 1, Dragons Rising, Raz's presence is felt from the very start. In the episode The Merge Part 1, he oversees Imperium's efforts to capture elemental dragons, powerful creatures whose energy Imperium weaponizes. Raz is depicted as a no-nonsense commander, even chastising his subordinate Rapton with the line, "Your overconfidence is a weakness," showing his strategic mindset. When young heroes Eren and Sora attempt to free one of the captive dragons, Raz personally intervenes. He ambushes and overpowers them with ease, ordering they be imprisoned. This scene cements Raz as a physical threat. He wields a massive golden hammer and possesses the strength to knock out ninja in training in one blow. By introducing Raz in such a dominant fashion, Season 1 immediately raises the stakes for our new protagonists. Despite Raz's prowess, the ninja, both new and old, begin to undermine Imperium's plans. Lloyd Garmadon, the legendary Green Ninja, teams up with newcomers Eren and Sora to liberate the dragons Imperium has captured. Through Season 1's arc, we see Raz relentlessly pursuing the heroes, enforcing Empress Beatrix's will. However, Raz faces repeated failures against the ingenuity and growth of the heroes. In one pivotal confrontation around the episodes The Calm Inside and the Battle of the Second Monastery, Eren, Sora, and Lloyd managed to free several dragons right under Raz's nose. These setbacks don't reflect lack of skill on Raz's part. Rather, they highlight the hero's resourcefulness. But Imperium's unforgiving leader places all blame on Raz. By the Season 1 finale, after Imperium's defeat in the Liberation of Imperium event, Empress Beatrix strips Raz of his rank and has him imprisoned for his failure to stop the ninja. This downfall is dramatic. The once proud tiger warrior is left in a cell as Beatrix arrogantly decides to handle the ninja herself. Longtime fans might compare this turn of events to past Ninjago villains who suffered consequences for underestimating the ninja. But Raz's story was far from over. Season 1's endgame, The Merge, is a reality-shattering event where the 16 realms merged into one, creating chaos across Ninjago's world. Raz's motivations become deeply entwined with this event. When the merge happened, it devastated entire realms. No one saved Raz's home realm from destruction, a personal tragedy that fuels his resolve. While Season 1 mostly shows Raz as Imperium's enforcer, Season 2 reveals his true purpose. Raz is determined to reverse the merge at any cost in order to restore what was lost, including his own people and world. This goal is not something he pursues alone. Raz serves a mysterious master who has orchestrated a grand plan to conquer all the source dragons, primordial dragons tied to creation, as a means to undo the merge. In Season 2, Raz fully embraces this mission, making him a far more dangerous antagonist on a quest of apocalyptic scale. Raz's opportunity comes soon after his imprisonment. During a chaotic merge quake storm, tremors caused by the newly fused realms, Raz manages to escape his cell in Imperium. Free for the first time from Imperium's hierarchy, he immediately starts working toward his master's plan. Raz recruits Dr. Jordana, a scientist who had figured out how to extract energy from dragons, seeing her as an asset to harness the power of the source dragons. This is a significant move. It shows Raz's intellect and leadership outside of Imperium's structure. He's no longer just taking orders. He's assembling his own forces for a larger purpose. 1 year after Imperium's fall, Season 2 finds Raz operating in the shadows, gathering strength. He ventures to forbidden places like the Forest of Spirits with Jordana, using stolen dragon energy to unlock the ancient Shadow Dojo. In doing so, Raz resurrects the feared Wolf Clan, an old faction of warriors once loyal to evil masters. With an army at his command again, Raz launches a multi-realm assault, proving he's as tactically formidable as ever. He attacks the Cloud Kingdom, a realm longtime fans will remember as the domain of the Riders of Destiny, and the land of lost things, all as part of a grand ritual he initiates, the Ritual of the Blood Moon. Lord Ross and his allies enact the ominous ritual of the Blood Moon in Season 2, attempting to unleash ancient evils upon the merged realms. During the Season 2 episode The Blood Moon, Ross's plan reaches a climax. Under the eerie red glow of a full blood moon, Ross attempts to free the Forbidden Five, a group of ancient evil elemental masters from the Wildness realm. This is a deeply lore-rooted moment that delighted longtime fans. The Forbidden Five were said to have once tried to conquer all realms ages ago before being sealed in the nether space, a hellish void, by heroes of old. Ross is effectively unleashing a long-banished evil to further his aims, a move reminiscent of past villains like the Overlord or Nadakon, but on a potentially larger scale. In the chaos of the Blood Moon ritual, Ross succeeds in partially breaking the seal. He releases one member of the Five, a powerful warlord named Noct, into the world. The victory is not without cost. In the ensuing battle, Ross demonstrates his might by banishing Kai, the Red Ninja, Master of Fire, to the nether space using dark magic. This moment is huge. One of the original 6 ninja is removed from play, showing just how high the stakes have become with Ross as the adversary. Additionally, another evil spirit named Rox slips out, only as a disembodied soul, secretly possessing Jordana, which adds a chilling twist to Ross's entourage. Ultimately, although Ross doesn't free all 5 ancient villains during the ritual, he and his followers escape the battle alive. Ever the loyal servant to his cause, Ross swears to his master that he will not fail again, despite this setback. It's clear by now that Ross is not a simple one-season villain. He's driving the multi-season narrative with layers of mythology and personal motivation fueling his actions. After the Blood Moon incident, Season 2 transitions into the Tournament of the Sources storyline, essentially a grand competition among elemental masters. Here, Ross shifts tactics from brute force to subtle manipulation, proving himself as shrewd as he is strong. Disguising his intentions under the title Master Ross, he covertly takes part in organizing the tournament. In a surprising move, Ross recruits 2 competitors to fight on his behalf. One is the amnesiac Jay Walker, the Blue Ninja of Lightning, who lost his memories due to the merge, and the other is Frack, a young Serpentine and Aaron's childhood friend. Longtime fans were stunned to see Jay, one of the original heroes, effectively fighting under Ross's influence. For context, after the merge, Jay had ended up working in a realm administration office with no memory of his past. Ross took advantage of this and lured him out to compete. Ross trains and deceives these fighters, even teaching them tricks to win the tournament. It's a testament to Ross's charisma and manipulative skill that he could convince a hero like Jay and a friend of Aaron to do his bidding, however briefly. During the tournament episodes, late Season 2 into Season 3, Ross stays mostly in the shadows, pulling strings. He uses the event as a cover to further his real goal, using the tournament's chaos to finish freeing the Forbidden Five. Ross's newly freed servant Noct is also in play. Ross had fitted Noct with an obedience device to control him after the Blood Moon fiasco. With Noct posing as just another formidable contestant, Ross aims to have Noct win the tournament and use that moment to break the remaining Forbidden Five out of the nether space. The plan nearly succeeds. In a climactic duel, Noct defeats Sora, the female tech-powered ninja protege, in combat, showcasing the terrifying power Ross has unleashed. As Ross watches on, he reveals a cruel twist to Aaron. He tells the young hero that the merge was actually caused by the ninja themselves. This lie is meant to shatter Aaron's faith in his mentors, and it plants the seeds of doubt that Ross will later exploit. It's a chilling moment. Ross is essentially attempting to turn one of the new heroes to his side by rewriting their understanding of the merge disaster. However, Ross's carefully laid plan unravels in the final moments of the tournament. Victorious, Noct betrays Ross instead of obeying him. Tired of being anyone's pawn, Noct uses the tournament's end to release the rest of the Forbidden Five on his own terms. For a brief moment, all 5 ancient evil masters are free, but their liberation doesn't go as Noct expected either. The sudden surge of power is too much and weakens the Forbidden Five shortly after their release. A battle royale ensues, and the ninja, along with other elemental masters, manage to disrupt Noct's plans, even stripping him of the power he'd taken. Amid the chaos, Ross tries to reassert control, but is caught in the crossfire. As Noct's scheme fails, Ross and the weakened Forbidden Five are forced to flee for their lives. They attempt to escape via a portal at the Cloud Kingdom's gate, and in the scramble, Ross is dragged through the collapsing portal against his will. The result, Ross and Aaron, who is pursuing them, both end up flung into a completely different region, the First Land, as the portal implodes. This is a turning point for Ross, taking him away from his army and allies and stranding him one-on-one with a young ninja. Stranded in the remote First Land, Ross finds himself in a precarious situation. The once untouchable warlord is badly injured from the portal incident and battles, to the point where he cannot continue his mission alone. In a twist that showcases the complexity of of Ross's character, it's Aaron who decides to help nurse Ross back to health. This development is fascinating for both longtime fans and new viewers. Aaron, whose heroes and friends have suffered directly because of Ross, shows compassion, or perhaps curiosity and desperation, instead of vengeance. Aaron has his own motive. Throughout the series, his driving goal has been to find his missing parents, who vanished during the merge. Now, with Ross wounded and temporarily non-hostile, Aaron hopes the villain might have answers or assistance in finding them. The dynamic between these two, former enemies now in a tentative alliance, adds a rich layer to Ross's story. Over the course of several weeks, Aaron shelters Ross in the First Land and even trains with him. Ross, a masterful fighter, imparts combat lessons to Aaron, ostensibly repaying the kindness. One can imagine these scenes as tense but quietly respectful, with Ross still exuding a stern, mentor-like presence. For Aaron, learning from a warrior of Ross's caliber is a rare opportunity. Ross is both a skilled martial artist and knowledgeable in ancient techniques, as seen by how he tutored Jay and Frack earlier. This unexpected mentorship shows a different side of Ross. We see hints of honor and pride in how he carries himself, even when humbled. He doesn't strike Aaron down when he easily could. Instead, he keeps his word to train the boy. It's possible Ross even begins to empathize with Aaron, seeing a bit of his younger self in the determined ninja in training. Yet, Ross never loses sight of his ultimate goal. When his condition suddenly worsens, Aaron makes a drastic decision to save him. In episode 43, The Spectral Lands, Aaron carries Ross to the Spectral Lands, a haunted realm of spirits, to find a cure. There, Aaron procures an elixir from the mystical Well of the Lost and revives Ross from the brink of death. In the aftermath, Ross repays Aaron's devotion with what appears to be genuine gratitude and a tantalizing revelation. He leads Aaron to a lonely graveyard in those spectral plains and shows him two tombstones, the graves of Aaron's parents. To Aaron's shock, Ross claims that reversing the merge could bring his parents back to life, effectively undoing their fate. This is a powerful scene rooted deeply in lore and emotion. Ross tells Aaron that reality itself can be altered if the merge is undone, a statement that finally lays bare Ross's personal motivation. In a poignant exchange, Aaron reminds Ross that the ninja have saved many worlds, but Ross, with pain in his voice, retorts, "They didn't save mine. No one did." This line, straight from the Spectral Lands episode, resonates with longtime fans. It echoes the tragedy of characters like Garmadon or Moro, who felt abandoned or wronged by fate. For newer viewers, it clearly underlines why Ross is so relentless. He sees himself as a hero of his own story, willing to do anything to restore what was lost. In that moment, Aaron and the audience alike realize that Ross is not driven by mere conquest, but by grief and a desire to fix a cosmic wrong. This revelation deepens our understanding of Ross. He is a villain with a cause, one that even a hero could sympathize with. It also cements Aaron's resolve. He now has reason to believe in Ross's mission, if it means getting his family back. Indeed, by the end of this encounter, Aaron chooses to side with Ross, breaking away from his ninja teammates in hopes of reclaiming his parents. It's a dramatic character turn for Aaron and a major victory for Ross's powers of persuasion. With Aaron now accompanying him, Ross moves into the next phase of his plan in Season 3. Joined eventually by Sora, who, after the recent battles, decides to follow Aaron, unwilling to abandon her friend, Ross suddenly has two young but capable ninja by his side. The trio travel to the World Forest, seeking ancient knowledge from the spirit of the temple on how to execute the merge's reversal. However, their quest doesn't go unnoticed. The remaining ninja catch up, and so do the vengeful Forbidden Five. In an ambush at Storm Village, Ross is kidnapped by the Forbidden Five, who consider him an enemy after the tournament fiasco. This leads to an explosive showdown where Ross faces off against Noct one last time. Despite having been adversaries, it's Aaron who comes to Ross's rescue, refusing to leave his new mentor to die. The battle that ensues is intense. The Forbidden Five unleash a monstrous dragon called Thunderfang, and even the legendary Shatter Dragon is awakened, threatening all of existence. Ultimately, the ninja, Lloyd Kai, who returns from the Nether Space, and others, manage to defeat the Shatter Dragon, ending the immediate threat to the merged realms. In the aftermath, Ross stands amid both his enemies and his allies. Surprisingly, the ninja do not capture Ross at that moment, recognizing that Ross helped against the greater evil, even if it was for his own reasons. They allow him, Aaron, and Sora to depart. Ross leaves alongside Aaron and Sora to continue the quest to reverse the merge. For a brief time, it seems like Ross might truly become a sort of anti-hero, working with former enemies toward a common goal. However, the serious tone of Ninjago's lore means such alliances are often fraught with ulterior motives. Ross, despite any respect he might have gained for Aaron and Sora, remains steadfast to his master's agenda. He takes the two youths to a secret site called the Forge of the Forgotten, where ancient artifacts can be crafted. Here, Ross's facade of mentorship finally falls away. In a gut-wrenching twist, Ross reveals his true intentions. He plans to sacrifice Sora in order to forge a Source Dragon icon, a powerful relic needed for the merge reversal ritual. This moment hits hard. Sora and Aaron realize that Ross has been manipulating them all along, keeping crucial information to himself. He was willing to use the life of a friend, someone Aaron cares about, as just another tool. Furious and heartbroken at this betrayal, Aaron turns against Ross. The trust and camaraderie built over the past weeks shatter in an instant. Aaron and Sora narrowly escape Ross's attempt to harm Sora, and they flee the forge, determined to reunite with the ninja and stop Ross's madness. Ross's true colors now fully bared, he coldly proceeds without them. In a dark act befitting the most ruthless of Ninjago's villains, Ross kills an innocent mortal to complete the forging of the Source Dragon icon. With this newly forged artifact in hand, essentially a key to controlling or accessing Source Dragons, Ross becomes more dangerous than ever. He fights his way out of the underworld itself to return to the surface, a nod to how formidable he is. The underworld is a realm many past villains, like Samakai, have struggled to escape. In the closing moments of Season 3, Ross initiates the final leg of his plan, using the network of ancient monastery portals to move swiftly across the merged realms, likely to gather the remaining elements or dragons needed for the merge reversal. As of this point in the story, Lord Ross remains at large, more determined than ever and now utterly unencumbered by ties to our heroes. His polite veneer from the first land days has evaporated, and what remains is Ross in his purest form, a zealous warrior on a mission to rewrite reality. The stage is set for an epic confrontation in the future, one that will decide the fate of the merged Ninjago realms. Lord Ross has quickly become one of Ninjago's most impactful characters in recent lore. For longtime fans, his arc is a treasure trove of deep-cut references and high-stakes storytelling. He has tangible connections to Ninjago's past and present, from the Cloud Kingdom to the underworld, from ancient elemental masters to new heroes. Ross's actions ripple across the entire merged realm. Crucially, he facilitated the return of the Forbidden Five, unleashing ancient evils that the ninja could only barely contain. In doing so, he has altered the balance of power in the world, forcing the ninja to confront threats they never anticipated. Ross also temporarily deprived the team of key members, banishing Kai and turning Jay against his friends, albeit briefly. These moves weakened the ninja at critical moments and added a layer of personal stakes to the conflict. Perhaps most strikingly, Ross managed to sow discord within the new generation of heroes. By persuading Aaron to abandon Lloyd and the others, Ross effectively broke the unity of the team from within. This is something very few villains in Ninjago have accomplished. Beyond these plot points, Ross's ideology and character leave a lasting impression. He is not simply evil for the sake of evil. In his own words, the line between hero and villain is a matter of perspective. Hero? That word is meaningless. To some, I'm a hero, and a villain to those who don't agree with me. This philosophy challenges the ninja's traditional black and white view of good versus evil. Ross's tragic backstory, a world lost to the merge, and his unwavering loyalty to a master and cause paint him as a complex antagonist, one who might have been a hero under different circumstances. His determination to bring back his people and Aaron's parents by reversing the merge blurs the moral lines, forcing the heroes and the audience to consider the costs of undoing the merge versus the pain of those who suffered from it. In true serious Ninjago fashion, Ross embodies the theme that power and intention are double-edged swords. His desire to save what was lost could doom countless others if unchecked. As of now, Lord Ross stands as a looming threat for upcoming seasons. His quest to undo the merge poses an existential danger to the very fabric of Ninjago's reality, making him an antagonist on par with the greatest threats the ninja have ever faced. Longtime fans appreciate how Ross ties into the broader lore, ancient clans, multi-realm mythology, and even a hint of Chima connections if fan theories hold true, while new fans are drawn in by his clear personal motive and the dramatic stakes he brings. Ross has also left a mark on our heroes' personal journeys. Aaron's innocence has been tested, Sora's resolve hardened, and the original ninja have been challenged like never before by this new kind of enemy. In summary, Lord Ross is a formidable villain whose background, motivations, and evolution make him one of the most intriguing characters in modern Ninjago storytelling. From his brutal beginnings in Imperium to his manipulations during the Tournament of the Sources, from a reluctant mentor in the First Land to a remorseless zealot at the Forge of the Forgotten, Ross's journey is a roller coaster that has deeply affected the Ninjago universe. As we await the next chapters, one thing is certain: whenever Lord Ross next appears, the stakes will be sky high, and the lore-rich saga of Ninjago will be all the more exciting for it. Longtime fans will be eager to see how this Tiger Warrior's story concludes, and new viewers now have a detailed roadmap to understand why Lord Ross is such a pivotal figure. The stage is set for an epic confrontation, and if Ross has his way, the very world of Ninjago might be unmade and reborn before the tale of Lord Ross is done.